Hello, and welcome to my second demonstration video. And in this video I'll demonstrate my Python virtual assistant with voice activation and voice response. At the moment it has two key features. The first one is playing music from YouTube, and the second one is querying Wikipedia for quick answers to all your questions. To start it, I'll run my start script in the console, and it will start speech recognition. We can now simply give it the command with the wake word assistant. Assistant, play NCS Fly Again. And it will now play the song. Might take a moment. There it is. Assistant, pause. Now, it plays it asynchronously on a separate thread, so I can run speech recognition at the same time in order to pause, play, or stop the song. Assistant, play. Assistant, stop. Now that was the music player. As you can see right here, this song data was found in saved songs. This is done because I'm using the YouTube Data API, and this API has a quota for normal users. In order to not waste my quota, every time I play a song, I save every single song I play in this songs file. As you can see, it has the song title and the ID of the song on YouTube. We can also play a song it has never heard before, and we'll save it to this file, as I'll demonstrate right now. Assistant, play NCS Freak Show. Assistant, pause. Now, this song was never heard before. As you can see, it was saving song data, and it gave me the response from the API just for debugging purposes. If we now view the songs file, it has this song saved in the file. The title of the song and the YouTube ID of the song as well. Assistant, play. Assistant, pause. Assistant, pause. Assistant, stop. We can also query Wikipedia. Assistant, Wikipedia HTTP. This might take a moment. Assistant, stop. It queried the Wikipedia API, which has a bit of a latency. It then gave me a response with the top result that was found for the query on Wikipedia. As you can see, it saves it asynchronously as well, on a separate thread, so I can run speech recognition at the same time and stop the speech whenever I feel like it, if I don't want to listen to this entire paragraph, which might take a while to complete. The assistant actually has two say functions, the say sync and the say async. The say sync is used for short bursts of speech, and the say async is used for any speech that is long or of an unknown length, so it can be stopped at any time. Assistant, power off.
Powering off.
That was said using say sync, which was used before because it is a small burst of text, and say async takes a bit longer to start up. This can be found on my GitHub page in the Python virtual assistant repository. I have set up an install script for Windows. There isn't one available for Linux quite yet, but it's being worked on. This is an interactive install script which helps the user set it up very intuitively. The assistant uses two separate speech synthesizing mechanisms for Linux and Windows. On Linux it uses eSpeak, which is the open source and free speech synthesizer, which is available for pretty much any OS. And the Windows one uses the built-in speech synthesizer, which is only available on Windows because it's proprietary. So the speech synthesis works in slightly different ways on both platforms. The speech recognition can be tuned to your setup in the config file. However, I won't show you the config file because it also contains my YouTube Data API key, which is private information. If I go into speech-to-text.py, you can see that there's variables for non-speaking duration, voice recognition energy threshold, as well as voice recognition dynamic energy threshold and pause threshold, etc. So it can be tuned to exactly the type of microphone you have. It can also be tuned for, say, embedded devices like a Raspberry Pi that can be mass distributed as commercial products. The assistant is structured in a nice and organized structure, with the base being the basic modules that are required for the assistant to function, config for configuration files, and skills for the separate modular skills. In fact, there is an entire GitHub organization for this virtual assistant with the different skills and the base model for the assistant. This is because it can be organized in separate modules to not have an assistant that is bloated with functions that you do not need. And that's it for the demonstration. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.